This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Dude, it's still as fun for you as it is for me.
Yeah, man. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving 86. You know, and not only that, look, I'm a big fan of the 80s too. I really am. The 80s were, well, we were having kids personally, but you know, when I go back and I think about my favorite music, it's
that era.
Yeah, it was the greatest era of music ever, and just wonderful time. I mean, what I'm living right now is my greatest time for many reasons. But back then was spectacular. Back then, I loved baseball so much, as we know, and that's how I got into the business. And that's all I ever wanted to do was be a Major League Baseball announcer. All I ever wanted to do when growing up. But when I had a chance to go to wrestling full time, I didn't even flinch.
Right.
I didn't even think, oh God, my baseball career is going to be over. I went, fucking yes.
Yeah.
Sign me up. Let's go this direction. I've made a lot of big decisions in my life. You know, leaving the WWE was one of them. And leaving WCW was another one. You know, signing with the AEW, another one, you know, agree to do a podcast with you. And those were things that I thought about and I really considered and I really weighed pros and cons. Going into wrestling, leaving baseball, gone. No regrets, not even thinking of it because I loved it so much. Great era, man. And
next week, we got some really fun stuff. We've got Jimmy Valiant in action, of course. Tully Blanchard will be back cutting some promos. Jim Cornette is going to have the Midnights make fun of the rock and rolls. We'll see a Baron Von Raschke match. Of course, there's another Paul Jones interview. Barbarian will be in action. You get a Boogie Woogie promo. Tully Blanchard wrestles a very young Ray Traylor. It's the slingshot suplex on him. And I think that's probably what gets him hired for real. An interview with Jim Crockett, which is always nice to see him on here. Midnight Express are in action. So is Ron Garvin. Dusty Rhodes is back cutting a promo. Rock and Roll Express will be in the ring. Nikita is going to be suited and booted, challenging Magnum TA. We'll see Magnum in an action-packed match with Lee Peak. We've got Jim Cornette starting to tease that he's afraid of heights, and Arn Anderson is going to defend his TV title against Sam Houston. So a pretty packed show next week, and we're doing something extra special, Tony. We planned to do this in January, but it got away from us. But we're going to make it happen over at Ad Free Shows and, of course, patreon.com/WHW Monday. We're going to start cranking out the other show. It was Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling from 1986, and we're going to have some fun with it. We talked about it last week. We sort of freestyled, man, we need to do something with Saturday 605. So Saturdays at 605 on adfreeshows.com, you'll be able to, and of course the other Patreon, watch some old Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. And it was sort of the companion show, the syndicated show that went with what we just watched on TBS, right?
Yeah, it was. And before we started doing TBS,
it was the A show.
It was the show, man.
Yeah.
They had two of them. They had Mid-Atlantic and Worldwide Wrestling. And I watched both of them because those things have been going on in the Crockett's for years, both shows. So
well, we're a few weeks behind on that, but we're going to play catch up. And we're going to start dropping those every single Saturday at 6:05. They don't have all of the shows for the entire year. They only go through May, but we're going to rock those and get them all there because they're perfect companion pieces for what we're watching here. And Bob Cottle's all over it, and you love Bob, and I do too. So we'll have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, we really will. Need to talk to Bob.
Yeah, I hear he's he's getting up there in age, but I hear he's doing well for considering how old he is.
Still got a great voice in his 90s. And
I mean, I know that sounded shitty the way I said it, considering how old he is, but you just said it. He's in his 90s, bro.
Sure. Hey, aging's a fact of life, and the fact is you age well or you don't. And he has aged very well. So.
Well, I'm pumped up. I'm excited that we're having so much fun with this. So stay tuned over on Ad Free Shows and patreon.com/WHW Monday. Not only will we have all of these Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling episodes starting to upload this Saturday, but in addition to that, you're also going to hopefully be with us to see what I think is the definitive Jim Crockett interview. I'll send you a little link today, Tony, so you can see a screener. couple things we got to correct in there that Chris is tinkering with, but I think that thing's going to be ready in the next few days. And I think it's, I don't know, one of the more important things we've probably ever done.
That's good. I'm really, really looking forward to it because of how much he meant to me in my life. So, and you know, it's always great going back and remembering and talking about what happened when, and we do it here. And I know that the interviews on ad-free shows with Jimmy are going to be just a vital, important part of that. Probably even more so than what I can.
By the way, as we mentioned, later this night, you were in St. Louis. Rocky Johnson over Tim Flowers, Debbie Combs over Despina Montagos.
Oh, wow.
Jerry Blackwell over Kareem Muhammad. Nick Bockwinkel over Larry Zabisco by DQ. And then Ricky and Robert over Bobby and Dennis by DQ. Kelly Blanchard over Jimmy Valiant. And Harley Race would beat the world champion Ric Flair in a non-title steel cage match in 22 minutes and 46 seconds. The next day, you're down in Asheville, North Carolina, and Ron Garvin and Ric Flair go to a double count out. The undercard was a little more interesting, though. It had Tully Blanchard and Jimmy Valiant go 4 rounds in a tape fist match. 4 rounds.
I got to remember that. Talk to Tully about that when I see him next time.
That same day, it was a double shot. You had Flair and Garvin in Cleveland. So that other show in Asheville, clearly a matinee show, only 1,900 fans there. But in Cleveland, 7,000 fans would see Bobby and Dennis lose to Ricky and Robert. And Tully and Jimmy did the exact same tape fist match. But Flair's not working with Harley. He's working with Ron Garvin. And, of course, Flair picks up the win. The next day, it's a spot show in Taylorsville, North Carolina. And this is all from the history of WWE.com. I highly recommend it if anybody's trying to do research like this. On the 11th, Dusty's back in action in Rock Hill. It's a TV taping.
Yeah.
We've got Bobby and Dennis defeating Pez Watley and Sam Houston. And then we've got Dusty Rhodes teaming up with Magnum TA to take on Bobby and Dennis. That's a dark match after the taping, but still, that's pretty cool when you put, you know, Dusty and Magnum together and put them with the Midnights. That's great for the Midnights.
Sure it is. Sure. It's great stuff. Rock Hill was a big TV taping place for us right outside of Charlotte, right on campus there. And it was, Rock Hill was a great place. It was basically a suburb of Charlotte, but in South Carolina.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.